Welcome, Muskan, for this podcast, and welcome to the felicitation program as well.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, so I would like to know about your journey. When did this dream to become a civil servant, especially you want to be a diplomat? So when did that begin?
So my dream of becoming a diplomat began when I was in my school. During
Mm-hmm.
my school times, I had interest in political science and international relations, and also I had the opportunity to travel for an academic exchange program to Canada.
Very
So I
good.
spent some time there, studying in a school there, and I felt like I was a young ambassador of India to that place
Mm-hmm.
because students in that school got to know about India, its culture, values, education through me. And I felt like that was a very overwhelming experience that stayed with me.
Mm-hmm.
Further, I studied political science in my graduation, in my master's. Currently, I'm pursuing my PhD in international relations from JNU.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I like the subject. I like the idea of representing India, of traveling the world. I think all these factors came together for me to put it as my
Mm-hmm.
first preference.
So how was your experience in Canada?
It was a good experience because I was only 16 years old and I traveled
Okay.
all alone to Canada, and I got an
Mm-hmm.
opportunity to study in a private school there.
Mm-hmm.
So I lived with a Canadian family, went to regular school, attended classes, and it was interesting because I could feel the stark difference that there is between the Indian education system, the Canadian education system.
Mm-hmm.
So I attended diverse classes there because there they don't have any stream like humanities, science, or commerce. You
Mm-hmm.
can take subjects from all streams. There's no
Interdisciplinary.
stream actually. There's
Yeah,
an
yeah, yeah.
interdisciplinary course.
Mm-hmm.
So you could study law and you could study calculus and you could study history and also literature.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really interesting, and the classrooms were very more interactive.
Mm-hmm.
Education didn't feel like one directional.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from that, it's a beautiful country. I got to travel. I got to live with a Canadian family and I got to know how it is, at home in
Mm-hmm.
Canada. Did the regular things, went to buy grocery. All this at 16 was very overwhelming.
Now, how did this happen? Was it an exchange program
It was
or
a student exchange program.
for 1 year?
It was shorter tenure. It was not for a year. It was around a month. It was
Mm-hmm.
between the two schools. So they sent each
Mm-hmm.
sends school to the mutual countries.
Okay. So when did you actually start preparing seriously for the exam?
I started preparing around my graduation time. I took so I started reading the basic NCRTs because I felt I had some time after my graduation classes also.
Mm-hmm.
That is when I started studying. Then I did my masters. I started during my masters. Did not take any drop year. Then COVID happened, so that was a little bit stressful for my preparation because
Mm-hmm.
I felt like it was a tough time. And so yeah, around 2018-19, I started my preparation.
Okay. So how did you begin? Did you take any guidance or did you rely on any
I
sources
read the
online?
basic NCRTs
Mm-hmm.
and I read the basic book list and suggested material.
Mm-hmm.
Took some help from my seniors, and that's about it. Did most of my self study.
Mm-hmm. Did you go through those, bouts of self-doubt and, the aspirants usually face, there are phases where, you feel like giving up and, you feel like nothing is, going in your favor. Did you go through?
Of course, I went through those times, especially
Mm-hmm.
because I could not clear prelims in my first two attempts.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a big challenge because prelims is a big decider, I feel.
Correct.
So that was the time when I felt that I should look at other options. Maybe civils is not meant for me. And then some of my friends convinced me that at least give one attempt confidently, then you can decide for yourself. And I did that, and I sailed through prelims. And then I feel like mains is my strong suit because I'm a humanities student. I have interest in writing and reading. So mains, it was my first mains, but I managed to clear it. So yeah, it's been tough,
Mm-hmm.
but I think when I cleared the prelims, that was a big push for me because I felt this may not happen again. So
Correct.
that really motivated me to work doubly hard for my mains preparation.
Mm-hmm. So prelims was the scary phase for
Prelims
you.
was certainly the most like the scary phase. Mains does not really
Mm-hmm.
scare me as much as prelims.
Okay. So when did you develop this reading habit? What kind of books you
I've
read?
I've always had this habit of reading. In
Hmm.
school, I used to read fiction,
Hmm.
apart from my school curriculum. Then, when my preparation started, I felt there was less time to read novels, etc. Because most of the time would just go in reading my graduation and master's course material and the
Hmm.
UPSC
Hmm.
syllabus. And I used to read the newspaper. I'm a voracious reader since my school times.
Okay. Like what kind of books you read usually?
So currently, like I'm reading some non-fiction. Like I'm just reading this book called Becoming by Michelle Obama,
Hmm.
and so it's just I read both fiction and
So all
non-fiction,
the genres, like okay.
all the genre,
Hmm.
and most of my UPSC time did not allow me to
Study the
study
read.
beyond UPSC because there
Hmm.
wasn't time actually.
Hmm.
I used to use the 2 hours extra that I used to get in a day to actually do some physical activity. I felt
Okay.
that was more needed at that time.
Hmm.
So I've picked up reading again.
Okay. Good. So what about this answer writing practice and all? Like, did you manage on your own?
So I used to do answer writing on my own. Then I used to use some test series. I
Hmm.
used to do the Insight daily
Secure.
secure answer writing practice. So
Hmm.
that really helped me because I also could see other people's answers
Hmm.
and we could help each other out. So that helped me. Then I used to look at the toppers copies in these test series to see what is expected out of us to get a good score. So that was also helpful. Yes.
So what do you think about this examination? Like you have been in this process for now 3 years, maybe slightly more than 3 years. Uh, you failed in two prelims and then you have sailed through this attempt. What do you think about the examination itself when you look at the nature of questions?
Well, I think it's a very rigorous and interesting exam because it does not just test one dimension of you. It
Hmm.
checks your knowledge of almost every subject, and most of the exams in our country are very are rely on one or two subjects more. Like there's
Hmm.
CAT that focuses so much on math and logical reasoning,
Hmm.
etc. There are other subject to other exams also, but UPSC is an exam which gives due respect to all aspects of your personality and the subjects that are tested.
Hmm.
So I think that makes the exam very interesting, and because you don't get bored by
Hmm.
the syllabus itself. Apart from it, I feel it's a very competitive exam
Hmm.
because even when you're doing your best, you don't know if you'll make it because there's so many people who are giving their best.
Hmm.
It also tests your not just your IQ but your EQ, how good you keep yourself mentally, physically, emotionally. And I think while hard work is so important, I feel also there is a sheer stroke of luck that is needed in this exam.
Hmm.
But I think luck also follows hard work, I
Correct.
would like to believe.
Hmm.
But yeah, there is
So
there is a
like in
chance
your
of.
case, where did you face that luck or
I think I've been both lucky and unlucky. I couldn't clear the first two prelims.
Hmm.
Then the third prelims I cleared by 1 mark. So
Oh.
that's being lucky.
Right.
I cleared it by a mark,
Hmm.
and then I felt like my optional was great, but I did not score well enough. I felt even though I gave my best, beyond my
Hmm.
best, but I didn't feel I scored as much as I should have. I got a 259 in my PSIR.
Hmm. In the interview, how
In
much
the
did you score?
interview, I got 193.
Hmm. Good.
I got good marks in my essay. I got 138. So
Oh,
that sailed
that
me
is very
through.
good
That
score.
sailed me
Very
through.
good score.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, like 138 is really good score this
Mhm.
year.
Yes, sir.
What are the elements that you added in your essay which made you?
So like I'm a very I really love reading and writing. That's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
me as a person.
Hmm. Okay,
Starting from
okay.
my childhood
Passionate
times,
about
I'm
reading
very
and writing.
passionate about reading and writing.
Hmm.
So that really helped me. I chose topics that I think nobody wrote also on.
Did you write on the poet one or
I wrote on the
poet?
poet topic, and then I
Okay.
wrote about choice.
Choices.
So
Yeah.
not a lot of people wrote
Yeah,
on
yeah.
these
Right.
topics.
Correct.
So because but I had enough content for it. Apart from that, PSI is my optional.
Hmm.
It has a vast syllabus which is very relevant for your essay, especially the thinkers, the Western political thought,
Correct.
the Indian
Did you also
political
use all
thought.
the book knowledge? The books you had read as part of non-fiction, fiction.
I used some of that knowledge also because
Hmm.
of course that stays with you.
Hmm.
I used some of that also. So I used some examples. I use good number of examples in my essay. I mean, I think essay is all about uh, contextualizing examples.
Correct.
I feel there's a statement and they want you to relate the examples and contextualize them with regard to the given topic. I feel that is what essay is all about.
And making it more organic also.
Yeah, making more organic so that the person who's reading it is able to relate it with the examples that you've stated. Correct. So, for example, the choice, every choice, I don't remember the exact.
Even I don't exactly remember.
It was, the theme was that every choice is, you might think it's a right choice, but it may not be the right choice, or you might think it's the wrong choice, but it might be the right choice. So you have to give, like, think of examples out of the box. So I remember that time COVID had happened. So I give several examples in my essay, but one example that I remember was
the topic is you may have choices, but that doesn't mean that is right. Something
like that. Yes. You know, you may think
you have choice, but it doesn't need to be right choice.
Exactly. Yes. So I remember one example that I'd given, since COVID was going, COVID had just passed, we were still experiencing the last phase of it. I'd given this example how India did vaccine Maitri initiative, right? We helped so many other countries with vaccines, but there was, while it was an effort that has been appreciated across the world, a lot of people have also criticized it. Correct. That you could not provide vaccines to people within the country. There were so many people who did not get enough hospital treatment, good hospital treatment, sufficient vaccine doses were not available, and you're supplying this to other countries. So you don't know what's a good choice. What you think is a choice, what is the right choice, may not be the right choice for them. So you have. Correct. So I think my examples were very current and relevant, and I was able to connect them to the topic. So
it differs really from people to people. Those who got the vaccine, for them it was the right choice. Those who didn't get. Maybe international community appreciates the effort, but Indians who did not get the right facility of vaccine, they may think that why are we doing it for the sake of maybe better getting international relations, etc. When you're not helping people, we're not able to do justice to your your own people. So I used such examples, which made my essay much more relatable. So what about this notion that people say that when you're preparing for the exam, especially UPSC, they say that your personality goes through transformation. Did you feel that some kind of transformation within you, considering your 16-year-old self and who you are now? Well, I think yes. I think I'm a lot more disciplined, consistent. I have a lot of perseverance in me. I think big, I aspire big. I have a lot of confidence now because I feel I've achieved and I've cleared one of the toughest exams of the world, and I feel very confident. I don't think there's anything I cannot do now. But when I've started moving, like come out of my shell and like going out and exploring things and traveling, and also realized that a big part of me was just involved in studying. I feel there were so many things that I missed out on. Maybe I'm not as street smart as I should be at this age, because a lot of my time went in studying. Correct. I see people doing coding and doing so many different things and like tech and animation, different sort of experiences and skills, and I feel I don't have them. Like a lot of my knowledge is more theoretical. I did not do the application part yet, and hopefully I'll get opportunities to do that. You have like so much time ahead of you. Definitely pick them up. So what is the next goal for you? Let us say you get IFS. Okay, I hope you'll get IFS by some kind of stroke of luck again. So if you get IFS, what is the next goal for you? What do you have in your mind? So I think the next goal for me, first thing is like to really enjoy my training and really have a very enriching and productive time. And after that, to learn a foreign language, which will be a very interesting process. And to have you thought about any language? Well, I would like to get French, but I'm not so sure how much my rank will get, if my rank will get that language or not. So that time will tell. But my first choice would be French, because I've studied French for 4 years in my school. Okay. So that gives me that'll make things easier for me. Okay. How does it feel now? Now it's a reality that you're not just a topper, but you're also going to enter these services where India is at a crucial stage of becoming next global superpower, and you are going to be part of it. Active. You're going to play active role in it. So has it sunk this this thought? Well, it has sunk to some extent.
I think the first joy as an aspirant is that you're out of the cycle. I think that's the first sense of relief that you have, that you don't have to go in the same process again, because it's very grueling. But apart from it, I feel there's a sense of fulfillment and achievement for sure. And I feel it's a long road ahead, because there's so much to learn. No matter what service you get, there's so much to study and to equip yourself with. Apart from that, I think there's a huge responsibility that comes with entering into the public service, and I'm really looking forward to it. And I hope I can contribute to the betterment of the country in whatever way I can, because I've invested 3, 4, 5 years of my youth into getting here. So I would want to make the most of it and to contribute in whatever way I can.
So I was having another conversation with few more toppers. One of them told me that when they were awaiting the result, just half an hour before, the mindset, you have been there, and then after the result, suddenly when you see your name, you have this joy, you have this happiness. So just before that, you were an aspirant, with all the fears and other things. Does it really change you, when you become a topper?
Honestly, no. So maybe it does, like it has different effect on different people. For me, I remember I was very anxious before the result came. I was praying and I was like all jittery and what will happen and whatnot. And then the result came and I was grateful. I prayed and I called my parents and I was very happy. But I think the impression that you're jumping and you're dancing is little over exaggerated. I think there's a strong, you feel happy and grateful, but there's a strong sense of relief that you're out of the process now. But I feel this is a momentous, a moment of joy,
Correct.
which will sink in, which has sunk in, and I think I'm happy and I'm grateful, and I'm looking forward to what's ahead.
So how do you stay grounded? I see, of course, majority of them are humble and they have humility, but some people get carried away. That I have seen as a teacher and mentor. So how do you ensure that with all the success, and when people are glorifying, especially?
I think if I do it, if I seem humble, I think it's because I have accepted, like I think in life in general, no matter what field you choose, I feel uh, your professional achievements will give you happiness, but that happiness is not long lasting happiness. The real happiness comes from the basic things in life, family, good relationships, friendships, good food, healthy living, and these things. I don't think a professional achievement should overwhelm us so much that we make it a source of permanent joy, because I think that's not possible. And I think the sooner you understand that, the more you'll value people around you and the things that there are around you, and you'll be grateful for them. So I think the public service for me is a means to achieve a greater good. It's not an end in itself. So I don't think an ego or any other sort of negativity should overwhelm me at all, because I understand what is the real source of happiness in life.
Okay. So what is the biggest challenge that you faced as an aspirant?
I think the biggest challenge I faced as an aspirant was the I think perseverance. Once you fail, or when twice you fail, to bounce back is a
Difficult.
challenge. It's difficult. And then when you're 23, 24 and you fail twice, you start thinking there's so many options in the world. Why am I stuck here? Why don't I try something else? People of my age are making good money. They're doing their, MBAs and, going for these concerts and having gala time. And why am I here stuck? So I think those are the thoughts that really, overcoming them was a challenge. But I think you have to go back to the reason why you started in the first place, because that will give you a sense of purpose, that will give you a sense of motivation, and convince you to actually try again. So I think the ability to bounce back is very important in this exam.
Now, how did you bounce back? Like, was it self-motivation or did
It-
someone help you?
It was both. I did not really have any other, at that time, I did not have anything else going for me, any other professional, sort of backup. So I felt that, and there were some of my friends who encouraged me to just give one last attempt wholeheartedly, and then we'll see where things go. So it was a joint effort of people around me and within me to give it another shot, and God willing, it worked out.
Okay. So, like if you don't get IFS in case, I hope you will definitely get. Are you going to write again?
I'm actually not 100% sure, because I feel every service comes with a unique set of opportunity to work
Correct.
for the country, and I feel all services have their pros and cons. A central service gives you uh, a good work-life balance, the ability to work in a different
Domains.
domain. So I'm still 25. I have my attempts left. I think I'll go into the training and I'll see. If I don't feel satisfied, I might write again. I'm not 100% sure if I'll be writing again.
Okay, so you'll enjoy your foundation course and
Absolutely.
then yeah,
Absolutely.
right. So how does it feel like? You're going to Labasna, so you might have watched videos, heard about Labasna. So what are you looking forward to?
So Labasna has been a dream. Like, I remember 2 years ago, I was in Missouri and I was literally gasping at people who were in. I'd gone for like just a trip,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
saw some people entering into Labasna with their their parents leaving them behind, and I was like, this must be such a proud moment, and this must be the dream of so many
Definitely.
people. And this time I'm going, so I'm very excited. I think firstly it's Missouri and the weather will be great, and I think it's just so much needed. It's a training, but it's also a sort of break of cycle that is needed for the aspirants to actually step into a new life, because the process of getting here has been so rigorous and hard
Correct.
that we missed out on many experiences in life. And so I think it's the time to actually go back and do the basic things, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Okay. So thanks for accepting, invitation and
Thank you for
coming to
having me here. I'm so glad I came.
and you came to felicitation and so people say this is kind of mini Labasna, like around 120 toppers are going to get together here. Like, what do you think about felicitation?
I think felicitation is a great time, because you feel proud and we feel good about the work you've put in. There are people like your mentors, who also rejoice in the fact that their hard work has also taken
Correct.
some shape. So I think, and the fact that we all get to meet the the selected candidates get to meet.
Correct.
It's a good feeling, because this is the first time we'll make connections before Labasna. And it's a good break also.
Correct.
Before going to Labasna. So I think I think we're very grateful that you're organizing it for us, and we're very grateful for.
No, we are also grateful that all the way you come from there
No,
and
no, yeah.
taking part here and thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I hope you will enjoy your stay in Bangalore and explore the place as
Yes,
well.
sir.
I hope tomorrow you will hear words of wisdom from all the dignitaries and chief
For
guests.
sure. Yes, sir.
So I hope you'll take back all the good memories
I
from
hope
here.
so. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me, sir.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.